What's good, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. This is Tyrants Bane. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy channel. Today on May 26, 2021, on a Wednesday, I want to talk about what's going on in Israel and Palestine. Okay? Now, there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of legislation coming down the pipe to protect the Jewish community, right? Because apparently there have been a lot of attacks against people in the Jewish community in America because of what's going on between Israel and Palestine. Now, I don't condone going up to people and beating on them because, they're a certain race or they practice a certain religion, shit like that, right? I don't condone that. Right? But that's for anybody, any race. But it seems like, our government anyway, man, like, you're tired of this shit, fucking buffering. Anyway, they want to create legislation to protect, against anti-Semitism, right? Now, Trump did something while he was in office in terms of the colleges with his anti-Semitism bill. But now they're going to expand that. They want to expand that, right? But this is the thing, man. There are already laws against hurting people. There are already laws against, right? There are already laws against hurting people. There's already laws against racial discrimination. It's called the Civil Rights Act, right? We have the Civil Rights Act, and we have laws against assault. We have laws against murder. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. But why specifically for Jews? And why also specifically for Asian people? Back in the 60s and the 50s and 60s, when black folks were facing all kind of horrendous attacks, right? From the police, from white folks, from just anybody, anywhere we went, right? Black people get their head bashed in, get hung, strung up, all this other shit. But they never came up with a piece of legislation to protect specifically black folks, right? Just like they never came up with a piece of legislation to specifically protect white folks. Why is that? Why are we going out of our way to do that for the Jewish community when we don't do it for any other community except for the Asian community and the LGBT community? What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this happening? You got, especially with the Republicans, man. I listened to Mitch McConnell talking about, all this. And man, right? Like, he's going to bat for the Jewish community. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But he won't go to bat for victims of police terrorism, right? He won't go to bat for victims of, murderous pigs, right? They won't even entertain legislation that would punish bad cops for doing bad shit. But he'll go out of his way to make sure that the Jewish community is protected. He won't protect, everybody, right? He won't say, you know what? We need to take away qualified immunity. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to make sure that the police suffer greater consequences for doing horrible shit to people. They won't do that. They won't do that. Right? But they'll send hundreds of billions of dollars to Israel every year. Right? They'll sell all our land to the Chinese government. They'll do that. Right? They'll send money all over the country. They'll spend money on wars, all this other shit. But they won't feed the hungry people we have right here in the United States. They won't use our money to feed the homeless and the hungry in our own country. But they'll send money to Pakistan for gender studies. They'll spend money to see how rats react to PCP. They spend money on that. They spend money on stupid ass scientific studies that have no bearing on anything that won't affect us in any way. Why? Because they just love the money. They want to make sure our money goes into the pockets of the elite. You know what I'm saying? We can't get protection. Hell, they won't even say, you know what? Let's ensure that our rights to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Right? Let's remove all these roadblocks that are put up for people to obtain firearms, use firearms for protection, all that other shit. Right? The Republicans won't fight shit. Right? They won't fight anything the Democrats throw at them. Right? They'll act like they're doing something. Oh, please don't do that. But they don't fight for nothing. But now all of a sudden they want to stand up and fight to protect the Jewish community. Again, like I said, I don't have a problem. I don't want Jews to be attacked for no reason here in the United States. The problem is the government in Israel, the Israeli government, right? Because look at what's happening. Israel, let me tell y'all something, man. These people want to say, oh, Hamas has attacked us first. You know, Hamas is doing this and doing that. They're a terrorist organization that is being harbored by the Palestinian government. But let me tell y'all something. Who creates terrorists? Who creates terrorists? I want y'all to really think about that. Who creates the terrorists in the world? Who creates those people? Do they just decide one day, you know what? Let's go bomb a U.S. embassy. Let's go kill some Americans. Just cause. I really want us to think about this. Why would Hamas attack Israel? Let me ask y'all that. You know, you listen to one side, they'll tell you, well, Hamas attacked first, Israel had to respond. You listen to the other side, well, Israel attacked first, and then Hamas took advantage of the situation and boom, attacked Israel, right? But who creates the terrorist? Is it, did they just say one day, oh, let's just do this? Or is it because the world leaders, right? The powers, the powerful states, the powerful countries like the United States and things like that, the UK, is it because they're running up in other people's territory, in other people's region, doing what the hell they want to do? Or is it because they're unseating leaders in those Arabic countries? Is it because they're going over there, screwing the people out of their oil? Is it because we're all up in everybody's business, doing shit we ain't supposed to be doing, calling ourselves policing the world? Is it our duty to go around policing the world? No, it's not. So when we go over there and we destabilize whole regions, right? What do we expect to happen? What do you expect to happen? Because Mitch McConnell also said that he has a problem with Joe Biden wanting to pull our troops out of Afghanistan. Because if we leave Afghanistan the way it is, the Taliban, Al-Qaeda will come back in there and start doing shit. Well, how did Al-Qaeda get there in the first place? Who created Al-Qaeda? Who gave Al-Qaeda all kind of weaponry in the 80s when they were fighting against the Russians? See, here you go. You got another superpower, Russia, doing shit they ain't supposed to be doing in Afghanistan, right? And we going up in there, we're acting like we want to help the Afghanis. It had nothing to do with those poppy fields, right? So we run up in there, not minding our own business, running up in Afghanistan, calling ourselves giving weapons to the Afghanis to fight off Russia. And what do? We just leave the weapons there. Y'all can have that. Y'all can have that. And then when our business with the bin Ladens goes sour, we decide, you know what? Fuck Afghanistan. We're going to go over there and get some shit popping. And then when they resist, we want to call them terrorists. You see how that works? Who creates the terrorist? What is a terrorist? A terrorist is a person or a group of people that use violence and scare tactics, cause devastating attacks for a political purpose, right? For a political purpose. We create these fucking terrorists. How? By being terrorists ourselves in the first fucking place. We're the original terrorists. Going over to other people's countries, calling ourselves, having these sweetheart deals with these leaders, and then when it go bad, we want to be like, oh, are y'all bucking? Oh, okay. When was the last time we had a noble war? The United States. What one might consider a noble war. I would say the Revolutionary War, right? That was probably the last war we actually fought for the freedom of the people in this country. We didn't fight going to Iraq. That wasn't for us. That wasn't for us back here. Iraq was no threat to the people of the United States. Afghanistan was no threat to the people of the United States. Well, you know what I'll say, World War II, Japan bombed the shit out of Pearl Harbor. But why did they do that? Why did they do that? Because they just decided, you know what, let's hate Americans today. Let's go bomb the shit out of America. Let's go bomb Pearl Harbor. World War II, how that all started, that's a big story right there. That is a very intricate story right there that I'm not going to get into right now. One guy got killed in a fucking parade and pissed everybody off. And so here comes a world war, right? That affects everybody. So what happened with Israel and Palestine? Well, Israel seems to think that Jerusalem, and you know, so I'm gonna tell you why I think this all started before I go pump my gas and get off this live stream. So this is how I see it. Israel seems to think they own shit because a book told them that they own it. So what do? They go to the people that actually already occupy this land and say, you got to get the fuck out of here. And they do so by force. Oh, we own this shit right here. Y'all got to skedaddle. And you wonder why people are retaliating and attacking? As simple as that. You can't run up in somebody's house and say, you got to get out of here. And what do you expect? What do you expect? Yeah, like they did to the Native Americans. Exactly. No, Israel never backed it, but we damn sure backed their asses. We fighting their little proxy wars. What's up, J-Law? Tyrants Bane, keep snapping, keep it real. For sure. Yeah, that's all I know how to do it. Dark Nebula was good. Was good, Gusto. Alan Powell in the house. So, I mean, let's just be real about what's going on in Israel, Palestine. They'll tell you, oh, you know, Hamas is just terrorizing, they're blowing shit up and all this other shit. But okay, so if Hamas is a terrorist organization, you're giving them the reason. You're giving them the excuse that they can use for attacking you. Oh, you're running up into Palestine, taking territory for yourself with the backing of the U.S. government, declaring certain things belonging to you. But you're displacing people, right? You're displacing people. You're creating refugees out of people that live here. You're killing people, right? You're committing racist acts towards Africans in Israel. But you wonder why you're getting attacked by a terrorist organization. Terrorists don't just attack certain superpowers for no reason. I'm not saying that their methods are the best or that they have the best. I'm not condoning terrorism, but what I'm saying is you have to look at the cause. What's the root cause of this terrorism? But, you know, the Republicans, they want you to think, oh, you know, Israel, the Israeli government. When I say Israel, I'm talking about the government, not the people. This is not anti-Semitism. This is anti-government. All right. Oh, Israel, they can't do no wrong. Why they're being attacked and Joe Biden won't, like, come on, man. This is another thing with the kabuki theater between the right and the left. Okay. It's the right left paradigm holding this bullshit up. The left is backing Palestine, and the right is backing Israel. Yet more distractions. When the reality is, Israel is committing atrocities to the people of Palestine, and when they retaliate with more atrocities, poor Israel, poor Israel government. Man, y'all can miss me with that shit. Y'all ain't fooling me. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, they own it real tough. Yeshua's return. All these comments I'm having to approve because YouTube and Susan Wojcicki find certain words offensive. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Hopefully this video does not get struck. But this is not an anti-Semitic video. I'm not attacking the Israeli people. And many Israeli people right here in the United States would even agree that the Israeli government, headed up by Netanyahu, are committing atrocities. Hasidic Jews have said it, right? Orthodox Jews have said it. Non-Orthodox Jews have said it right here in this United States. They know what's going on. And yes, they're being attacked. They might be being attacked by people for being a Jew, which is not right. I don't believe it's right. Attacking somebody because they practice a certain thing or because their government is doing something, they have nothing to do with it. I don't believe in those attacks. But I will say this. Don't be surprised that these attacks happen when your country is going around displacing people, committing their own form of terrorism, and justifying it by using the Bible. Come on. I wouldn't say that effing book. Mouse went live last night in a strip club in Texas. Yeah, I'll check that out. BN, we are real Judah, not these imposters. Yep, that's another theory. TM, salute. Knowledge is very important for the mind. Absolutely. We got to understand and know why this is happening in the first place. Yeshua's return. And if we fire a rocket at them, we deserve it 10 times worse than they got because we shouldn't attack them. Exactly. Judeo-fascism is a problem in the West. Real shit. The United States is destined to collapse. And when it does, be ready. Oh man, I got some potentially exciting news about something that I might be doing on the East Coast. I might be relocating sooner than I thought based on the opportunity that was presented to me. I have to work a few things out, but once I get it all together, and if it happens, I will expound on it more, and it's going to be a big part of my channel. And I'm going to create a whole nother channel around that particular opportunity and what I'm going to be doing. So y'all look out for that. Anyway, I got to go. Like, share, subscribe. And, you know, it is what it is. Hey, how are terrorists created in the first place? You got to ask that question or answer that question. Peace.